Okay, well, welcome today. It is a fun agenda. We have a lot of accomplishments that we've had during the course of this last few months. So, without further ado, I think we'll get started. I'm Amy Omer. I'm the director of iCAN, and I'm so glad to see everyone this morning. I would love to send out a little welcome. So, Kirsten, can we start with you? If you give your name, your chapter, and one local project that either you're working on or thinking about, if there's not something that's been started, then we would love to hear that.
Sure. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm in the car. I'm Kirsten Sherman Serbati, and I am the virtual chapter leader. I am in North Carolina, and I'm open for ideas for projects for sure. We are kind of regathering and making sure that we know, and then that other folks know that there is an opportunity to participate in a chapter if travel issues are or travel's a problem or schedules. So um, we're we're ramping up and gonna put our minds together for our next project.
That's awesome. Thank you. And Stephanie, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm Stephanie McCormick here in Chicago, and I am the chapter leader at Walter Payton College Prep. And our seminar, we learn about different healthcare careers and also give feedback to the researchers at Lurie Children's Hospital and Northwestern Hospital. We are going on a field trip at the end of the year to go see the Northwestern Feinberg School of Medicine Anatomy Lab and the simulation lab. So we're really, really looking forward to that. And then one of our recent Ask the Expert speakers, Kateri Kelly, she is coming to our class in December as well. And we're going to talk about opioids and then maybe do our first ever research project, getting the kids feedback on opioid use around Chicago. So that's a new step for us. And the kids just love going to see the cadavers and going to the medical school. So we're very excited about that.
I love that so much. Our Michigan chapter as well has done the cadaver visits, and they also love it and think that is so cool and so interesting. So, the sky's the limit on anything we can do. And maybe, Kirsten, we can figure out a virtual one that we could do for you all. I'm sure there's something out there that can be done online, especially in this day and age, but let's keep our ears open for that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Well, because we have a very small group today, I'm going to transition into the next topic, which is perfect for introductions. And I want to introduce our newest staff member, which is Abby Clark. Abby, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. It's nice to meet everyone here again. And then also everyone not here virtually. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Abby Clark. I have come on as the Communications and Digital Design Coordinator position in iCAN. I'm a recent graduate from Georgia Tech. I graduated in May. And I love creativity and have a creative background. And I'm so excited to grow that with iCAN.
Thank you, Abby. We are so glad to have you. This is terrific. And this is probably a good time to share an announcement. I am actually stepping away from ICANN. I've looked long and hard at the my personal needs and just wanting to make sure I have a balance in my life. So I've decided that I'm doing a long goodbye and working through part of November just to make sure that there's no loose ends and everything is wrapped up. But I want to say thank you to everybody who has been so willing to run a chapter and be so supportive of our youth. It has meant so much to me as a mom, as a fellow human in this world, just seeing the kindness and support that you have all freely given. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, Amy.
I'm glad you're on the phone
you.
today because it's really hard to tell everyone. So I'm so glad that
Oh,
I can share this directly to you.
yeah. Oh, it's been so good getting to know you over the years. Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
know.
I'm not going anywhere, so I will share my information. And
Okay.
as you guys reach out, and especially in the world of diabetes, if there's something you need or something you want, I'm still very much plugged into all of that. So
Well, I'll just say thank you for all you've done for iCAN and for me personally, and and Kai and my son. So your girls have been wonderful. Um it's been a joy to see them grow. I just get to see them snapshots over time, but I know you're very proud, and I know they as well as you are a big part of the beginning of iCAN and the success. So thank you from me.
thank you. I appreciate that, and it means a lot. So what I would love to do before I cry is to move on to something a little happier. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the wonderful things we've been able to accomplish and some open projects that we have. So starting first with the open projects, right now we have an anthology. You've heard me talk about this, but this is a really terrific way to get people involved, and it can be done virtually. There's no attendance needed, but we just want kids to submit either an art piece or a writing piece or something that speaks to them about their experience within clinical research, within their healthcare. We have started putting these together. We have about 20 some submissions already. This is being done in partnership with Duke, the DCRI, and with our partners at PTN, the Pediatric Trials Network. Wonderful support and organization. What we're intending to do with this is create a book that allows us to share to our families and our young people specifically that are coming through clinical research to make them feel less alone. The book will be published. It'll be distributed to a network of researchers and doctors so that they can take this directly to their patients and say, hey, you're considering participating in this clinical research project. Here's what other kids felt about that process, and be able to show them through their art, through their writings, through the submissions that they've sent in, of what that meant to them on a personal level. And hopefully, our thought is it reduces anxiety, it reduces fear, it really opens up the mindset that they are not alone and that there's other kids who have kind of grappled with the same sort of, do I participate, do I not? And hopefully it turns out positive and wonderful, and everybody sees that togetherness as a community. The next thing that we're also asking for, which goes with the same anthology, is we've decided to fill in the pages with quotes from doctors. So while we were at the American Academy of Pediatrics National Conference and Exhibition last week, we were able to ask doctors for quotes. Why is clinical research important? And so our doctor community was very gracious in sharing their thoughts, one or two sentences, and with those sentences, we're going to put those in as little page fillers. So while we'll have the submissions from the kids, we'll also have these wonderful quotes attributed back to doctors within the iCAN sphere. So what we're asking for your help on is to send out the same request to doctors in your area, continue to send the request for submissions for the anthology to young people. Parents are also able to submit. You could have community members submit. Anyone can participate in this. All of this needs to be in through January 1st. So by January 1st, we're hoping to close this down, and then start the task of kind of organizing the book and putting it together with the help of Duke. They also have a creative team, so they're going to step in and do a little bit of the formatting. And then they're going to carry through the publishing and support of what that is for iCAN. We will get copies distributed back to us so that we can either maybe do a fundraiser with them and bring more kids to the summit, or we can put it freely online so that we can share even greater to our audiences. But we do need your help with this anthology. So the QR codes for the quotes for the doctors are on our website. You can find the QR code right when you log in. There's also, I believe, a little blurb about the anthology. So you're able to follow through the submission process for that. It's very simple. You're going to be emailing Abby. And actually, that reminds me, Abby, we need to make sure your name is on all the acceptance for everything that we're sending in. So we'll go ahead and make that change if it's not already there. But even if you email me, my email will still exist, and Abby will grab it and just put it into the book. So that's it for the anthology. And thank you if you've already submitted. We appreciate that. But please consider adding some more. We would love to make this a really big book that's very robust. So the next thing we have is yesterday night, I sent out a Pfizer survey. It's a very short survey, about 3 minutes. I took it already. It's concise and tiny and easy for the kiddos. But we want to get their thoughts and feedback and share their opinions to Pfizer about diversity. So this is a really critical survey in the sense that the kids are being listened to, and we want to make sure they know that so that Pfizer can make better decisions down the road. So please share this to everyone. If you have adults that would also like to take it, that's fine. We have a box that they can check showing that they're an adult. That includes our young adults. So anyone is able to take this one time. Our goal always is to get about 20 responses. And we're well on our way already. So we appreciate that. Just keep sending that survey link around. Take the survey if you haven't yet already. But all of that really is helpful for our community. And authentically, this is the kind of thing we love to do at iCAN to make sure the kids are heard, that decisions aren't just made without their input. So this is a really great validating reason to be a part of iCAN. Next up, we have our youth council and young adult professionals. The leadership is expiring. So as much as we love the young people who have been leading this, we have a commitment of 2 years, and those 2 years are up. So Abby's going to be sending out shortly applications, and we want to kind of just trigger this now. Anyone within the bracket of our youth membership can apply for a youth council leadership position. So this applies to all of our chapter leaders. If you have a young person who wants to do more, who wants to support at a higher level of iCAN, we would love to have them be a chair. I can give you a quick little rundown on what that means. It's typically receiving emails from me asking for dispersion amongst the youth council for quick questions and answers. They are leaders, so they have chosen our Ask the Expert series topics for the upcoming year. We're very excited about that. Our youth council chairs also give us direction on the summit. They tell us what they want to do, what they want to see. They provide a lot of input. They become part of the planning committee for the summit. So we really rely on them to give us the youth perspective of what we're doing. We make no decisions as an organization without the input of our youth council and asking them, specifically, what is the best way to move forward. We really want to be true to the young person's voice on that and not just make these decisions on our own. The young adult professionals, that's a new position as of 2 years ago. So we had our first chair who came in, and she made this what it is today. So there are big shoes to fill, but I know we have other awesome, amazing young adult professionals that can step into this role. But that position is one of which you're starting your professional education or career, and you're thinking about what that looks like for you as an 18-year-old beyond. So that group is expansive. It goes all the way up to about 29. And there's various levels of where they are in their learning and their career pathing. But we love it because what we do is we'll send again information to that chair about things that they can provide input in, speaking opportunities, events that they might travel to, We also provide internship connections, and we're starting to get some job interest. So as these kids get a little bit older, and morph into this young adult role, it really becomes that next layer to what they can do professionally. So anyone that you know that may have recently graduated out of iCAN and still wants to be connected would be a great viable person for the chair application. So more of that to come. We're hoping to have that ready in the first quarter of the year so that we can, branch off into the summit, having all of these positions filled and ready to go. And then I heard Stephanie mention Ask the Experts. We love that series. It's monthly on one Saturday a month. We're looking for speakers for November and December. So this is very fun. I've yet to meet anyone who's participated that said, oh, it was the worst hour of my life. Typically, we hear it was the best hour of my life, and it felt so good to talk to kids. It's usually a small group of kids. We record the session, and we talk about fun things. We talk about the kids want to know what your career was like. How did you get where you are? What's the experience you had to have? Why did you choose that field? Tell us a little bit more about the work you do day to day. So it's really nice for an adult who's done this in their career to pay it back a little bit by letting the kids in on some of their tips and tricks. Kids just absorb this, and they're really looking for that leadership and those role models in our adults, because frankly, we still know that science and innovation and kids that are interested in math and medicine and these wonderful careers, these STEM fields, are still not getting all the exposure that they should. So we love to continue to provide this input to them, to give them the free chance to ask these questions, to really spark the excitement of what it's going to be like when they go on to their careers. So please send us anyone you have. We just had Kateri here that Stephanie mentioned. She was a dynamo. She's so terrific. And I know that there's more that we could be connecting, so we would love to do that. And if you all would like to join us, we would love to have that too. So chapter leaders are welcome as well. We will probably ask you questions too when we're there, but please don't feel like it's something you'd have to prepare for or, have slides for. It's really just a conversation, and it's just one that brings the kids into the world of STEM and knowing that anything is possible. So want to keep that inspiration going. So thank you. A couple updates for everyone on what they've been doing, and I hope I didn't miss anyone, but I just really wanted to give a shout out because we have done so much post summit, and I feel like this is really important to acknowledge. So thank you to Kids Walter Payton for hosting iCAN. I came one week, Abby came another week. And we were also got the connection from Stephanie to Kateri. We love these things. We love being able to partner with you all. It's so meaningful. So big shout out. Thank you, Kids Walter Payton. Thank you to Kids Illinois. We are working with the group to send a young person to our annual Lily Symposium invite. That's such an honor for iCAN. We've been asked year after year after year. And even during the pandemic, we did virtual connections. We are so grateful for that relationship. And the young person that we're sending has so much experience in the world of medicine and recovery and getting through some really complicated conditions. So we are excited to provide her the opportunity to share that information and be able to change the world with her story. So more to come. Hopefully I can share the recording. If I can't, I will do a little write-up so that you all know how it went and what happened, but we're very grateful for that. Thank you to Kids Georgia. We have a Caribbean Summit coming up. This is exciting for iCAN. Just to give you a little heads up, we're hoping to bring education and resources to starting a Caribbean chapter for iCAN. This is a very difficult area to tap into because there is a lot of existing thoughts about what that might look like to have a child share their story. So we're actually coming with a young person who's going to hopefully help infuse some enthusiasm about how that helps young people to be able to share their voices. And hopefully, fingers crossed, in the upcoming year, we have an announcement that we can have a Caribbean chapter. So always looking for new areas to start chapters. If you have an area that you would like us to venture to, please let us know. We'd be happy to do that. And then also Kids Michigan, we had a new leader, Kelly Parent. But what I learned last night after I made this agenda was Kelly is actually working with one of our youth members that has transitioned into a full-grown adult. And she hails from Kids Central Ohio. Her name is Uma Sobrian. Uma has now taken up a position at Michigan Medicine, and Kelly has tapped into her to lead the kids chapter. So this is very exciting and also shows you what a very small world we live in, because we were able to bring this wonderful young person into this new position. So Kelly's going to be managing from afar. She's still in that area leading, but Uma's going to do the day to day. So if you know Uma, please reach out and congratulate her. It's very exciting. We're just always so happy to have these longevity positions where we can keep people going. Kids UP is kind of on hold right now. Our leader who was running Kids UP has actually moved to Kids Pennsylvania. So that chapter will be probably starting in the year of 2023. They're getting established and settled right now. So I would not ask them to do a chapter until they're in their community and feel comfortable, but they would love to continue on. I've already heard positive things. We do need someone to pick up the pieces in Kids UP. So that leader is also graciously helping us to find the new leadership for the Kids UP. But if you happen to know anyone that might be interested, we would love to make that happen. So very exciting. Again, I love that, when someone moves, they don't necessarily think about the end of iCAN. They're also looking at ways to continue it. Kids Central Ohio has changed leadership. Our doctor who's been kind of overseeing this is still there, but she's waiting for Child Life to assign new people. This is a restructuring in the hospital and just a little fluctuation. If this happens, we always just say we'll pause until the new leadership can come in and they'll reestablish it. So right now, we are very grateful to Kirsten, who has taken on supporting the members of Kids Central Ohio through the virtual chapter until we can get back to the Central Ohio as it was with new leadership. So thank you, Kirsten, for doing that. It's very helpful. And then Kids Uganda reached out this week, and I'm throwing it out here because we would love to be able to support them. They are looking for a projector. So if anyone has any interest in helping this, we would love to be able to provide them with contact or information. As you know, Kids Uganda, is in a part of our world that doesn't have a lot of resources. So as a community, we try to support what we can. This is very different than our chapters in the US. So we do acknowledge that the constraints that they might have are, just a bit more challenging. So as you're thinking about who might be able to help, if you know anyone, it's, it is a cost, but it may be something that if there's older equipment, they're happy to use something that's been around. They just need something that works. And what they use the projector for, they don't have the equipment that we would typically have in classrooms. So kids do not have electronic devices at all. So when they want to participate in something, they pull up a projector and they share that information on a screen or on the side of a building or on a wall. And the kids in attendance, usually it's a couple hundred kids in the village that they're attending, will be able to see that information and participate. So it allows them to better communicate with the kids and share a survey or share an anthology project or share something that they want the kids to know about instead of them just talking about it. They also share our curriculum through iCAN that way. So when the kids are learning about what is clinical research or how do I share my story, They will run things through the projector so that all kids can see them and participate in the activities. So any support with that would be very helpful. Just reach out. You can reach out to Leanne. If you want to reach out to me while I'm still here, you can do that too. But I would love to connect someone with making that happen. And I have pictures of what they want, so I can certainly show that if there's any interest in supporting it. So the last thing I want to say about this is we have been on the road the last few weeks, so I'm very grateful for everyone that we saw, all of our European chapters in Barcelona at the PFMD summit that Leanne attended. And then also I got to see Kirsten at the AAP NCE, but I also got to see some of our doctors from other chapters like our Chalk Rady chapter. I saw some of our community members from other chapters. We had a young person from Kids Georgia who was in attendance. So all of this is just so nice because as we continue to build iCAN, when you attend these events, please let us know, share your photos, give us updates. We love to tell a good story. So, the more news that we can put out that's positive about iCAN, the better. So thank you so much. And Abby Clark will be receiving all of that. She is maintaining our website. She has gone through, and hopefully you've noticed there's been so much wonderful updating, tweaking, making sure that everything is just the way it's supposed to be. We have all of our chapters on the chapter map, and I'm proud to say we have 38 now. Just a few years ago, we were at 21. So this is more than doubled. We're just so happy to see all of these wonderful things happening. So thank you, and just keep sending them over to Abby. And now I want to open it up for questions, comments. Anyone? Okay, well, that means I covered everything. So that's very exciting. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad that you were able to join in this morning. And I hope that sunshine keeps coming down on you, Kirsten and Stephanie. I hope it warms up too.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.